Hello, everybody, and welcome to my 35 subscriber special. Today, I've decided instead of putting a ton of effort into playing a Resident Evil game and editing it and talking repeatedly and cutting my voice because I don't like the way it sounds for hours on end, I've decided to make a tier list because people like those and it requires very little effort. And to help me put even less effort into this, I've brought a friend of mine, Tim. Say hello.
Hello.
Well, that's great. His mic made him sound really weird there, but hopefully that won't be an issue later on. I think he's got a storm going through wherever he lives. But anyways, Tim here, he's played a good bit of Resident Evil, like me. And while he has a very bad memory and probably won't remember a lot of characters' names or anything, he'll still be of help. But basically, this is gonna be my tier list, and he's gonna provide insight, and he'll help me out for some things I don't know, and I'll help him out when he doesn't know things too. But the general rule of thumb I'm going for with this tier list is I'm ranking the quality of the character, basically, how likable they are, also how good their games are, just overall how good of a character they are, and I think the quality of their games does affect that. Wouldn't you agree?
I would.
I'm glad you agree. If you didn't, I'd kick you off. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and start. Oh, but first, shout outs to @Ernesto67099943. He's got 0 followers, so go drop a follow. He made this. He brought all these JPEGs over for us. All right, first character. I'm gonna be real. I don't know who that is. Is it Hunk?
I believe that is Hunk.
Well, if it's not Hunk, we're making it Hunk. And honestly, the only game with Hunk I've played is Resident Evil 2. I know he's like, I think he's in another one for sure. It's one of those weird like tactical shooter ones, I think.
Yeah, it might have been like Operation Raccoon City.
Yeah, one of those trash games. But I thought he was fine. I mean, I know the fan base likes him. He's all cool and one-man army, but I personally don't have a big connection with him. I mean, it's tough being the first one on the tier list because he kind of, but he's not off. I'm gonna give him a C, just because he doesn't really have that much of a personality from what I've seen. I mean, maybe in the game that I haven't played he does, but just for that. And if that's not Hunk, all the more reason for me to put him solo because I can't recognize him. So this one though, Ada. So what are your thoughts on Ada?
Ada, Leon likes her for a reason.
What is that reason?
I will not disclose that.
Oh, do you like her?
She's alright.
She's all right. Well, I'd agree with that. I think she's kind of annoying in a way, but at the same time, she's iconic. You get to.
She got that
She got that what?
that mystery.
Mystery. Oh, well, yeah, mystery's nice. I'm leading A. I think she's up there, but I don't know. She's an aggravating character to me because I think the mystery part of her gets a little bit annoying. She's kind of all high and mighty, which I guess she has reason to be, but it still kind of annoys me. But A for Ada. Wesker, most iconic villain in the series. He's got cool glasses, and he gets maybe like 20 seconds of screen time in the whole series. In 5, you don't really see him until the very end, and then you just kind of throw him into a volcano. Those glasses, man. They bump him from a B to an A, in my opinion.
I agree. He has that he's captivating with those glasses.
Oh, do you have feelings for Wesker?
I might.
Oh, I can't blame you. Annette, Birkin's wife. She's alright. She's a bad mother, actually.
Yeah, she was pretty
Awful
trash as a mother. Couldn't take care of
and for
Jerry.
that, she's an F tier.
Yeah.
She deserves it. Ashley, because I don't know who this drawing is of. Ashley, what do you think of that?
I'm a big fan of 4. and a lot of people think Ashley's pretty annoying, but I liked her character. So I would put her higher.
Strong disagree.
That's fair.
She's all right, but there's one reason I can't put her very high. Can you? Well, two reasons actually. Can you guess what that is?
Because of her annoying Leon shriek.
No, it's her ears. Look how mad. I'm just saying her ears are real. I mean, no offense to people with strange ears, but like you can see here. I mean, it's small, but her ears are so odd.
But the ballistics.
That is. That's odd to me because that's like the only time in the Resident Evil series that they continually have, I guess you could say, sexual references towards the character. That, and at the end when she talks to Leon about overtime. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought she was a minor the whole game, so that was very weird to me. But apparently she's not, right?
Yeah, she's like 18.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Yeah, she's middle ground for me. Barry, he's kind of a god. I don't know what else you can say.
I agree.
He's great. He's got probably the only interesting character development in the first game, like from protecting his family by doing what Wesker says to eventually like siding with Jill and trying to shoot Wesker and then failing, but at least he tried. And you know, he was in Revelations 2, which would normally dock points because that game's kind of trash, but he's just too good. First S tier. And we have more military people that I can't recognize, and then you don't know who this is, do you?
I don't think so.
This is Billy. He's one of the main characters from Zero, which is why he's in F. No, but I really don't like Zero, but I thought he was an okay character. But I haven't beat Zero, so I don't really know where his character goes. He's like a escaped prisoner. That's about all the development I got. I mean, he meets up with Rebecca, and then they're on a train, surviving. And there wasn't too much dialogue after that, so I'm just gonna put him in C for that reason. Chief, I think. Don't know his actual name. That boss from Resident Evil 4. It's like a spider in the barn thing, I think. It's a cool boss, but honestly, I think he like punches Leon or something in a hallway once before the fight, and I don't think you see him any other time. So I'm gonna put him in C tier. Brad. When you see Brad, what do you think of?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. You know, I can see that. Except he wanted to sacrifice everyone else's life in Resident Evil 1. But you know, it's tough because I didn't play the original 3, and I know that people disliked him a lot more there. I think he had a more cowardly death in 3. I know Nemesis actually killed him, and in the remake, like, he turns into a zombie and you have to kill him as Carlos. But the Brad I know is at least on par with Ashley. Irons, he's pretty bad. He abuses children. This might be the child abuse tier, honestly. Both of these people did not care for Sherry's life in Resident Evil 2. We have fake Ada, Fada. She's a good Ada because she's exactly the same, except she kills more people. Which is kind of cool, I guess. But
she rocks that scarf.
She does. That's a really cool scarf, I gotta say. And I mean, I mean, I can really only judge her off being Ada because, I mean, you do end up killing her in 6 through Ada's story. And I think that was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool idea, and I think she was a good Ada impersonator. So, you know, she's on par with Ada, at least in my opinion. I hope this isn't the only picture of Chris. I wonder if this is like a separate character in this person's book, but I guess not. I don't think they have 2 of different people. So, just imagine this looks like the actual Chris. And what do you think he deserves?
Chris, he's got to be between S and A. He's an iconic character.
Yeah, I need to add a Chris tier between S and A? Or you're just in between, you can't decide?
Oh, I can't decide.
He's pretty good. Um, I mean, I always plays Jill in 1, but Chris gets a lot of love right now. I mean, he's been in 5, 6, 7, and now 8. That's crazy. Andy, bro, I remember he killed Mia. He's S tier.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know who this is, but they do not look like a Resident Evil character. But moving on. This is Claire, so I don't know who this is, but Claire. I know what you like Claire a lot.
I do.
I do too. I think she was a good character in 2.
She has good humor.
Good. She's just the perfect person, right? But
Mhm.
I'm tempted to dock points for her being in Revelations 2. But when I think about it, I think she's just as good of a character as Chris. It's a shame she didn't get put in a better game than Revelations 2. This guy is from Revelations 1. I'm gonna put him in C just because he was kind of cool. Couldn't tell you his name. He's like the BSAA, like he kind of tells Chris and Jill and all them what to do. He's kind of like the squad leader dude. Cop that gets eaten at the beginning of 2. He's pretty valiant. But kind of a chump actually. Wait, no. Oh, it's not canon. I was thinking of the DLC where you're in the convenience store and you like kill 100 zombies. That's all that's just filler content. So he actually never even kills a zombie. So C tier.
Yeah, for chump.
C is the chump tier, unfortunately. It's like knockoff Leon. This guy, he kills the president of the United States. I can't tell you his name. He's the main villain from Leon's story in Resident Evil 6. But honestly, even his like monster form, kind of lame. He's really easy to kill. Chainsaw Fella. He's scary. He's a scary guy from Resident Evil 4.
Probably one of the most iconic villains.
He's very
too.
iconic. I'm guessing that's why he's on this list, because I'm not seeing many other villains. Or like, common enemies, I guess you could say. I'll be real, if I had the option to like sit down and talk with Ashley or Chainsaw Guy, I wouldn't be able to decide. So, let's go in B tier. Oh, is this Enrico? It's one of the Stars guys that die in 1, and for that he's a chump. Maybe real. I mean, how are you going to be in the Special Tactics and Rescue Force? And I want to know how he got to where he was, because he was in that secret area behind the cave, or the waterfall. I don't know how he got there. I wish I knew. Ethan, fan-made Ethan model. What do you think about Ethan?
You know, he got a lot of like slack on him, but I enjoyed his character for what it was.
Yeah, he was a pretty comedic guy. I like that about him. I think he's A tier actually.
Mhm.
Evelyn. I thought she was an interesting villain.
She was interesting, but she was also a little bitch.
I can agree on that. But I mean, she had a reason to be. She had no family. Well,
That's
when she did get a family, she decided to make them into monsters. But I'm gonna put her in B just because I think she's more interesting than all these. I think her name is. I want to say Priscilla for some reason, but maybe that's because we were just playing Dark Souls. Do you remember her at all?
I don't.
Yeah, chomp. She's like, pardon my French, but she's kind of like Wesker's hoe in Resident Evil 5. She's there, and well, maybe she's. It's really fuzzy. I'm trying to remember
her now.
Yeah, she's there for a few scenes. I don't know if you kill her or what, but that's why she's in chump. Well, yeah, she's chump tier for now. Moving on. Wow, it's a long streak of who's that? Helena. You don't like her.
She's F tier in my opinion. Her character was just not that fleshed out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Her only development was really at the very beginning of Leon's story, where she really wants to find her sister, but just won't tell Leon that's what she wants to do. She's like, we gotta get to the church, and then you'll know what's up. And then when you finally get to the church, you reveal she was just trying to save her sister, and you just have to kill the sister. And after that, she's just there because Leon has to have a second player with him because the game was co-op based. I think this is actually Hunk.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, there you go. I don't know who this guy back there. Hunnigan. Thoughts?
Hunnigan is a top tier waifu in my opinion.
Oh wow,
She carried Leon too far.
that's true. I mean, if she wasn't there, he wouldn't know how to traverse the linear environment of Spain. But yeah, I like that they brought her back for 6, and she actually like showed up in person. It was neat. Jack, aka Daddy. Thoughts on Jack?
Jack, he was a very scary villain and a very likable character by the end when you learn about his backstory. So I think he's at least an A.
I agree. I think Jack is one of the most well thought out villains. You feel a little sympathy for him by the end, and he is very creepery. Creepery? Minecraft. Krauser. I'm gonna be real. I didn't understand the relationship between him and Leon. Like, I don't know if there's some game that explains that, but they know each other. He had a cool fight. I'll give him that. Jake, little Wesker. He
Couldn't live up to his father.
He could. Well, he tried his. I feel like there's got to be a lot of Wesker children, right? I feel like he had a lot of
Side hoes.
yeah. But I like that they made the. I think he was an alright character, honestly, in my opinion. I liked his development, so I'm putting him in B. But 6 was a bad game. If the game was better, he might be a better, character. But here we have the anime villain of 0, and I never got to the point where I like met him or fought him. I don't know if I can rightfully rank him, to be honest. So I'm just gonna leave him here. I don't know her name, but she's from Revelations. She like works with Chris. Her whole like character for the first part is like that she's all proper and she's hitting on Chris. And it's kind of annoying, but by the end you find out she's like a double agent. It was a very confusing game. Chumped here. Now Jill. I think Jill's probably better than Claire, so I gotta at least put her S. But you think Claire's better than Jill? I'm guessing.
I do think Claire's better than Jill, but I also very, very much like Jill.
Yeah, Jill. All of Jill's games are bangers, in my opinion. And for that reason, that's one of the reasons I think she's better than Claire. Like, I like 1, 3, and Revelations. I just hate that Jill hasn't been back since 5. They need to bring her back. Joe Mama. You liked him. DLC's cool.
Yes, the DLC was very nice with all the punching.
Is he Jack level?
In terms of coolness, he's cooler than Jack, but he didn't have enough like backstory to him.
Right.
So I would put him below Jack.
Yeah. He's a very good DLC, but he only got like an hour or 2 of development. So for what he was, he did his job. This is the coolest guy ever. Alright. One of the coolest guys. He's from Revelations, and it's hard to explain it, but his dialogue with his partner, I found it genuinely funny for some reason. Like, it was the cheesy jokes and like stupid like stuff they did. I don't know, it's weird, but I am unironically putting, I don't know his name, in S tier. Leon. I think he's the best character in Resident Evil. What do you think?
By far.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the amount of screen time he's gotten and him being the protagonist of 4 is probably why most people think he's the best. But I mean, his development as a character is really cool. Seeing him go from like the rookie cop to like the president's own bodyguard that's like cracking jokes for no reason. I don't know. Just a likable person. What is her name? Lisa Trevor. She's really creepy. and sad. And for that reason, B. No other reasons. We have the Snuggle Bear from the laundry commercials. I don't know. I think this might be from Revelations 2, but I didn't play it enough to confirm that, so we're gonna skip Snuggle. Lucas is... I like Lucas a lot. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna put him A with Jack because he's so stupid but smart. Luis, right? That's his name.
Yeah, Luis.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think he's that good of a character. They kill him off in 4, and the whole time I thought he was gonna backstab Leon. Like I thought there was gonna be some kind of development there that never really was. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's just really underwhelming.
I thought he was a bro, but I respect your opinion.
Thank you. Thank you for respect. Marguerite. I think she's creepier than Jack, but unfortunately she got a worse area to patrol because you literally have to run past her for like a 20-minute chunk of the game, if that. If you know where you're going, you only have to like cross paths with her once. I'm gonna put her C. Well, yeah, C. She doesn't get nearly as much development as Jack does, and her boss fight's really creepy, but that's about all I can say about her. Marvin? Marvin,
My boy Marvin.
bro? Hey, Marvin's a real one, but at the same time, like, he let himself go out by catching feelings for Zombie Brad. So I gotta put him in the C tier for being a chump. Merchant? Nothing needs to be said about him. Mia? Nothing. Mia's just an awful person. I mean, what can you say? She, but I mean, I can't really say Ethan's all that great, but I mean, can you blame him for killing her? Like, after meeting her 10 minutes later, Ethan's ready to kill her. And he thinks he does, but he gets over it pretty quickly, and for good reason. She brought very unnecessary turmoil into that man's life. Moira, do you even know who Moira is?
I don't.
That's Barry's daughter, and she's pretty annoying. F. So how can this create this? I do not know. Mr. X, probably the most iconic villain. I gotta give him S, or I'll get yelled at. Nemesis. I think Nemesis is worse than Mr. X. I mean, obviously he's a stronger version, but he's clearly just a grab on the fact that Mr. X was a very successful part of the game. So they're like, let's make Mr. X, but very large teeth and tentacle hands.
Just give him a rocket launcher.
Yeah, rocket launcher. Yeah. Let's just give Mr. X a very scarier face and weapons. I think this is Nikolai, and I honestly, he was an alright villain. You know, they make you hate him, which is a good thing. But other than that, he was there wasn't much to say about him. What is this guy's name? He's the main villain from 4.
Don't remember his name.
I don't either. So I'm gonna put him in chump tier because honestly, the last boss fight in 4 is so easy. And if I can't remember his name, he deserves chump tier. Pierce, I didn't like him at first, but I think I'm bordering S and A.
He made up for it by the end of Chris's storyline.
Yeah, like the way he went out. Playing as Pierce is really cool. If he was not in 6, he'd get a higher rating because there's just I like Chris's story more than Leon's, but really the only cool thing about Pierce is how he ends the story. But moving on. Oh, what's his name?
He looks familiar.
He's from Revelations. He's Jill's partner in Revelations, and I thought he's a cool guy. He like worked with the place that was like bad guys, but then he went to the BSAA. It's Parker. Parker's just a cool guy. Like, he's there. I didn't like him at first because he's a stand-in for Chris, but he never does anything wrong. He's just there. He's a homie. and he just helps out. I think this has gotta be him. This is the partner in crime. Yeah, they got matching backgrounds. If you know, you know. I can't really say much about it, but play the game. Jessica, you got this far in Revelation. She's like one of the first bosses, and
Yeah.
they just like she's a creepy boss. Her hair's weird. That's all I can say.
Her character design is the only thing she's got going for her.
Ah, I think I know what you mean. Salazar. I think he's the best villain in 4.
I agree.
I think A tier. I think he deserves it. He's a funny little man. He's such a weird, comedic looking person, but I guess that's just that game. I can't remember this guy's name, but he's from Revelations. He has a bit of a character turnaround. He's another fake double agent. He's kind of, you hate him at first, but he's actually he's an alright guy. B tier. Rebecca. I don't know what this looks like. It's from a movie or something, but I like her character design. I don't like her game. She's cool in Z. Well, you know what? She's in 1, and she gives Chris like unlimited healing for part of the game. You wouldn't know because you never beat Chris's story. But bumping her from a C to a B, just for being a healer. Kendo. He's okay. I mean, a lot of people like him, but honestly, he doesn't have that much development. I can't put him on par with all those other people. I gotta put him in chump. Is that wrong?
I don't know. He had a pretty heartbreaking scene.
Yeah, but it was just the scene. Like all these people. Well, I do have Chainsaw. Okay, I'll move him up. Sherry. I like Sherry. I think her story with Jake was one of the more entertaining ones in 6. And in 2, she was a good paired character with Claire. I think she's the reason Claire's story was more interesting than Leon's. I'd say she's about as good as Lucas, you know? Salazar. Yeah. Sheva. I have bad memories of Sheva, to be honest. Playing Resident Evil 5 solo, you never did that, but
Yeah, I still have bad memories of 5.
Sheva's like cool, but her AI when you're playing solo, it makes me really not like her. But and you know, she doesn't really. Her only role really is just to be the player too. There's really no character development with her. She's just there, kind of like, I'm your guide, Chris. She's like, yeah, I'll help you out, even though this is like not at all what we were supposed to be doing. I'll help you find Jill and defeat Wesker. That's cool of her, but I don't think she got enough development as to who she even is, you know?
Yeah, she wasn't memorable at all.
Tofu. Did you ever even play the Tofu mode in 2?
Don't think so.
Well, I'm putting it in S because you see how cute that beret is. Ustanak. This is the great value version of Nemesis, who is like the great value version of Mr. X. So I can't. He's just kind of
chump.
Yeah. Honestly, his design doesn't stick out that much, and he's just another big dude chasing you. I mean, I just don't think they gave him enough unique stuff. They gave him a claw hand, but I mean, Nemesis has a tentacle hand. That's cooler. So, G. Birkin. G. Birkin's, he's a good boss. I mean, you fight him a lot in 2.
The amount of times that man came back really annoyed me, but his boss encounters were pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked his final form against Claire, so I'm gonna give him B. And Zoey. You picked Zoey over Mia, which I can't blame you.
You're damn right.
But she was I don't know. She was a meh character to me. You only like see her for a very short amount of time. Like right when you get the cure, you either screw her over or take her just for her to die a couple seconds later. So I don't think she stacks up with these people. I think I'm gonna have to put her in chump tier. I mean, she's her guide in 7, but nothing else to say about her really. This is this Richard? This guy's from Resident Evil 1, and I can't remember. He looks like the helicopter pilot, but Brad's the helicopter pilot, so it can't be. So I think this is Richard, the one that gets bit by a snake. And honestly, no matter what you do, Richard dies. Like, you can save him, like, 2 times. Like, if you give him the antidote, he'll go in and fight the snake. And he can die to the snake again if you don't kill it the first time. And if you kill the snake, or, like, make it run off, he'll end up dying to the sharks later on. And for that reason, I'm gonna put him in F. Just because you go through all that effort to let him live. And it's like he just wants to die. He's just the ruiner of speedruns. I think that's all I can recognize. I think one of these is like Spencer, the old. I think this is, but I'm not gonna rank him. Yeah, I guess that's everybody. Here's the entire list. Wow.
If they had a picture of the helicopter pilot from 4, he'd be above everybody, in my opinion.
I think it'd just have to be a picture of the helicopter, because I don't think they ever showed his face. But yeah, I'd say this list is probably the most accurate one you'll find anywhere. Alright, and so that about wraps up this 35 subscriber special. I'm thinking if this video gets a certain amount of likes, we will do a very special tier list. Tim, do you have a like goal in mind for the secret special tier list?
I feel like 15's a fair amount.
15? I agree. Because I don't even think this will get 15 views. But do you know what this tier list is going to be? We do it?
Are we rating on ballistics?
Oh my god. Well, I guess that can be a factor of it. We're going to do clickbait hottest Resident Evil characters. But obviously the personality's factored in because we're not misogynist or I don't even know the words, right? This is a cancel-free zone. Also, no taking into consideration any mocap actors' faces. No degradation. Degradation? Is that even a word? Degradation? Anyway, this is going on for too long, so this is the end of the video. 15 likes, get an awful tier list. So long.